All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the underground playbook for taking that thing you're passionate about, that specialized knowledge you have, and turning it into a real, thriving business. And we're doing it all through the lens of Russell Brunson's incredible book, Expert Secrets. The core idea here is actually pretty simple, but it is so powerful. It's that you, yes, you, have something special inside of you, a talent, a skill, an ability that can genuinely change people's lives. And this book, well, it's the map to help you share it with the world. So here's a question. Are you an expert who's broke? It's this strange paradox, right? You can be amazing at what you do, but that skill doesn't just automatically turn into income. The world, as Brunson says, is full of broke experts. And the solution isn't just to get better at your craft, it's to think about it in a totally different way. And this, right here, is the fundamental shift. This is the whole game. The key isn't to focus on the what, the product or the service. It's to start focusing on the who, the people you are meant to lead. It's about building a tribe, a following, a real movement. Okay, so here's the roadmap we're going to follow. We're going to look at what it takes to create that mass movement. Then we'll dive into what it means to be a charismatic leader, how to build a cause people will rally behind, and finally, what your own call to action really is. So Brunson's argument is that if you really study any successful movement, and I mean any movement from social change to brands with obsessive fans, they all have the same basic DNA. There are these three key pillars holding everything up. And here they are. Every single one has a charismatic leader at the helm. It's focused on a future-based cause, something bigger than any single person. And it offers its followers a brand new opportunity for change. So let's start with that first pillar. So the first pillar is you. You're the leader. But this right here is where most people get completely stuck. They get paralyzed by this feeling that they're just not expert enough, that they're an imposter. It's that nagging voice in your head, isn't it? Who am I to do this? I don't have the fancy degree. I'm not certified. But the book gives us this incredible way to reframe what an expert really is. And here's the secret. Your results are your certifications. I love this quote. You don't have to know everything. You don't need to be the #1 authority on the planet. You just have to be one step ahead of the people you want to help. That's it. That is the only qualification you actually need. Okay, so once you give yourself permission to lead, the next question is huge. Who are you leading? And often the answer is you're serving a past version of yourself. You're helping people who are stuck where you used to be. So how do you find those people? Now, this table is super interesting because it really shows how this works. See, these broad markets like health or wealth, they're what you'd call red oceans. They are bloody with competition. The real magic, the blue ocean where you can thrive, is in that last column. It's about getting super specific. Not just weight loss, but weight loss for college students. See the difference? So once you know who you're serving, you have to know how to talk to them. And Brunson shares this powerful framework from persuasion expert Blair Warren. It's about connecting on a really deep level. Like, justifying their failures means you tell them, hey, it's not your fault. Or helping them throw rocks at their enemies means you identify a common enemy, like the old, broken way of doing things. This is how you really build that bond. And that leads us perfectly into the second pillar. Because a leader isn't much of a leader without a destination, right? You need to create a future-based cause, a vision of what is possible that gives people hope and something to rally behind. Think about it. What keeps people from making a change? It's fear of the unknown. Your job as the leader is to paint a picture of the future that's so clear and so compelling that it replaces their fear with faith. And that faith is what gives them the courage to actually do something different. This whole idea of being one thing away is just so powerful because it creates instant hope. And Brunson, he was really inspired by this idea early in his career, and he wanted to create a similar rallying cry for his own movement. So his first draft was this, but he realized pretty quickly there was a problem. A specific outcome like being rich, well, that actually made the slogan weaker. Why? Because success is so personal. It means something totally different to every single person. And this is the genius solution. By leaving the sentence unfinished, he turned it into a mirror. It lets every single person fill in their own dream, whether that's away from quitting my job, or away from changing the world, or away from spending more time with my family. It suddenly becomes universal. Okay, This brings us to the final piece. And honestly, this might be the biggest mindset shift in the whole playbook. Brunson argues that this whole journey, it's not actually about you. It's about the people you have a moral obligation to serve. I mean, just let that sink in. This quote from the legendary J. Abraham, it changes everything. It reframes selling, which can feel kind of gross, into serving, which becomes a deep responsibility. Marketing is no longer about convincing people, it's about fulfilling your duty to them. And really, that's what this all boils down to. You have a gift. You have a message that can make a real difference in someone's life. The Expert Secrets Playbook, well, that's just the system that allows you to fulfill that obligation by actually getting your message to the people who need to hear it the most. So, the ultimate takeaway, the question I want to leave you with is this one. Because if you can answer this, well, inside that answer, you won't just find a business, you'll find your movement.